for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio. For the masses. Yeah. How you doing? Today's Monday, February 8th, 2021. Days into the new year. Only 326 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? All right, out of the gate, we've got some issues with the YouTube feed. So, Drew is on it. Everything else is live. All right, everything else is live. Everything but YouTube. So I'll keep you guys posted when that is up and running, and I'm anxiously awaiting Drew's text that will come in and say, okay, we're good. All right, other than that, kicking off an amazing week here on Fade to Black. I say it every Monday. What a week we have coming up in front of us. You know the drill. I'm about to say it now. An amazing week. You thought last week was great? The week before. Check this out. This is TV week here on Fade to Black. And tonight we have very special guest. Billy Carson is here, Forbidden Knowledge. And we will be talking about his new TV show that he is in the middle of shooting right now for Discovery Channel. And, of course, his internet TV network that you can watch right now. It's on Roku. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Apple TV. And we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about the other TV work that he has done and lots of stuff tonight. So we'll be doing that. Tomorrow night, right here, Scott Walter joins us, host of America Unearthed. And tomorrow, we've got breaking UFO news with Scott. So that is tomorrow night. That's right. America Unearthed, UFOs, well, they kind of go together. And Wednesday night, right here on Fade to Black, we have Giorgio Tsoukalos of Ancient Aliens. And then for the first half of the show, second half of the show is the one and only Dave Schrader, the Holzer Files. And right in the middle right now of season 3 of the Holzer Files, I think Ancient Aliens is, man, what are they up to now? 18 seasons? Soon to close in on like The Simpsons, all right? Absolutely amazing. And then Thursday night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. What an amazing week. Really looking forward to this. And one of the things, about this show is that we are able to bring this kind of programming to you. You know, something like this all in one week is incredible. And any one of these guests on another show one night, that's great. It's fantastic. Look, this is all week long here on Fade to Black. So get ready. We've got everything coming up. Let's see. Yes, you do, Billy. Yeah. Yes, you do. You have about 20 minutes from now, from this text. Billy just said, do I have time to make a cup of coffee? Of course you do. You can do that during the show. I'll let you take a break. I can yak while you go. And I know how important coffee is. And there you go. Okay. I'm still waiting to hear back from Drew. And Drew's got it. We are good to go. So let me do this. Thank you, Drew. Let me do this really quick. Boom. Hello, everybody. Oh, man. So we had some issues. It didn't fire off live today. So hello, YouTube. All right. I've got to do something really quick, everybody. Just stay with me. All of this is supposed to be done in advance. And we just didn't get a chance to do it tonight because YouTube was down. So let me do this. This is great. I get to actually work during the show. See, this is what I have to do every single night, which is get all the info in. I got to do that. I got to show description to do and take care of that, which is there. Now that's all updated. Okay, cool. All right, let's make sure this is going out all around the world, which I just did that. And we should be good. All right, hello to everybody on YouTube. We've got the chat rooms open. Today, of course, hashtag F2B is the sandbox. You can go over there and chat. You can chat on YouTube. Hello to everybody on Facebook that is over there. How you guys doing? And today, I had to... I want to talk about a couple of things really quick. One of them, I'm going to talk about this further tonight. There's a new film out. You can get it on Amazon. It is called A Glitch in the Matrix. And now there's a lot of press out there about this film. And it's about, are we living in a simulation? And Philip K. Dick's in it. Nick Bostrom, of course. He's got to be in it, right? I think Neil deGrasse does a little drive-by. But it's a pretty interesting approach to this subject. Okay, so I'm not going to say any more than that. Just go and check it out. It's pretty interesting how they deal with it. That's all I'm going to say. I want everybody to go and watch it first before we start drawing conclusions. And then, of course, I'll get everybody else's opinions. Okay? All right. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. You can follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. At jchurchradio. All right. Ken just tweeted out hashtag Black Moon. Right on. How you doing, man? Black Moon, River Moon, rivermoonwellness.com, Black Moon. Thank you for that, Ken. That's pretty cool. All right, at JChurch Radio's Twitter. And we got just a little bit behind tonight, so now I'm going to get caught up, and I'm going to cut a few things short. How's that? Because I got a lot to talk about tonight. Billy Carson here at the bottom of the hour. Breaking news, and now this happened on Friday and caught everybody by surprise, but Lou Dobbs got fired by Fox. That's right, the network, this past Friday night, and the media reported that Lou's show was number one on Fox, top rated on Fox, but no, it's not, and it wasn't. Lou's show was number one on Fox Business Channel. Okay, Lou Dobbs wasn't rated number one over Hannity or Tucker Carlson or anything else over on Fox News. Okay, a little misleading about that. But compared to everything else on cable, you know, his show is actually very low rated with only about 200,000 people tuning in each night. You know, compare that to Tucker, 1 million or more, right? Hannity. That's a whole different set of numbers. And 200,000 is about what we do here at Fade to Black every night. Okay, seriously. So canning Lou was not a big deal to the network overall. And that is not an opinion. That is actually fact. I'm reporting the news. But it was something that they had to do after the $2.7 billion lawsuit that dropped on Fox last week with Lou's name on it. There you go. Question is this: where does Lou go? When does he go? Nobody really knows at this point how much more time is left on his contract. And news networks, television networks, radio, they all have the same ability once they have you under contract, right? If you got 2 years left on your contract and they fire you, you can't go work somewhere else. They got to continue to pay you, but you can't go get another gig somewhere else. They have to release you from that contract, and most aren't really willing to do that. So it looks like they're going to keep paying Lou Dobbs and to prevent him from going somewhere else until that contract runs out. Nobody really knows how much time is left on it. All right. Well, today, Bitcoin hit a record high of nearly $45,000. And it all happened today after Elon Musk, Tesla, invested $1.5 billion into the digital currency. Bitcoin hit $44,795 before cooling slightly down to $44,207.95. The cryptocurrency is up by around 50% since the start of the year. Absolutely incredible. Now, everybody's been watching this new cryptocurrency that Elon is tweeting about. Now, is it Doge coin or is it Dog-E coin? Is it Dog-E? I think everybody's mispronouncing it. I think it's Dog-E. It's Dog-E coin. Get it? E? Yeah, I think it's Dog-E coin. I want to hear Elon say it. All right, let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Film composer John Williams is 89. John Williams has composed more music for film than most musicians just write jingles, guitar licks. He did Jaws. He did Star Wars, all of them, right? Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Indiana Jones, all of them. And all of Spielberg's films, all of them. But the list of things that he has composed, it's like 350, 360 films. Think about that. He's 89 today. Seth Green is 47. And why did Seth Green make the list? Probably because of Austin Powers, I think. Vince Neil, today. Are you ready? Vince Neil is 60. Absolutely incredible. Our dead guy's birthday today is Dan Seals. 1948 to 2009, died at the age of 61. Dan is the Dan in England Dan and John Ford Coley. That's right. They had a string of hits, but none bigger than I'd Really Love to See You Tonight. Yeah, you love that song, don't you? That song went to number 2 on Billboard, sat there for a while on the Hot 100, and then number 1 on Billboard's adult contemporary charts and stayed there for quite a while, too. And yes, he was the brother of Jim Seals of Seals and Crofts. Bet you didn't know that. In 2008, Dan was diagnosed with cancer and completed radiation treatments for mantle cell lymphoma, but later died at the age of 61 on March 25th, 2009, at his daughter's home in Nashville, Tennessee. Happy birthday, Dan Seals. On this day in history, OTD. 1887. After 19 years of imprisonment, Mary, Queen of Scots, is beheaded at the Fotheringay Castle in England for her complicity in a plot to murder Queen Elizabeth I. Her son, now this is Mary, Queen of Scots, her son, King James VI of Scotland, upon Queen Elizabeth I's death in 1603, became the King of England, of Scotland, and Ireland. And that was on this day in 1587. Fader fact. Okay, now check this out. And I love it when I get to this point in the show. Fader fact. Houses in Bermuda have white stepped roofs. You ever notice that? Go to Google Earth. Houses in Bermuda have white stepped roofs to harvest rainwater and then store it. Why, you may ask? Why would they do that, Jimmy? Well, let me tell you. The island has no fresh water anywhere. No springs, rivers, or lakes. That is your favorite fact. You're shipwrecked. You see Bermuda, you're like, oh, look at that. Let's go. Swim to shore, no water. And that is your Fader fact. This is TV Week here on Fade to Black, everybody. Tonight, very special guest, Billy Carson of Forbidden Knowledge. He is here to talk about his TV network, his new TV shows that he has done. We're talking TV all week long. Tomorrow night, the one and only Scott Wolter is here, host of America Unearthed. But tomorrow night, we're unearthing some UFOs. Wednesday night, Giorgio Tsoukalos, followed by Dave Schrader. Thursday night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. All right, let me hit this River Moon coffee. I heard there was a warm wind rolling the stars. Let me tell you something. That song, England Dan and John Ford Coley, that song was so amazing. I was a kid. That came out in like 1976. All right, so what was I, 13? And I was toe tapping. That song was amazing. I couldn't wait for it to come on the radio. And it just stuck with me my entire life. And, so absolutely. Who didn't love that song? Thank you for that. And that was from President-elect Dr. Bob Noxious. I'll bet money that's not his real name. River Moon Coffee, rivermoonwellness.com, Fade to Black Blend, the best coffee in the world. You know, Rita and I, over the weekend, we were out and needed some coffee. We weren't at home, you know, and so we had some coffee. Came home later, and we're sitting on the back patio. I made a fresh pot of River Moon coffee. We're out there with the hummingbirds, and I took one sip. And I yelled to Rita across the yard. I said, "Hey, Rita, is this the best coffee in the world?" Yes, it is. Man, it's the best. River Moon Wellness, Fade to Black Blend. And there you go. Okay. All right. So, did you notice anything strange about the commercials that ran yesterday during Super Bowl 55? Tom Brady, by the way. How incredible was that? I did. Now, I'm not sure of the final count, but it seemed to me that every other commercial featured either aliens, E.T., flying saucers, or an alien invasion. Did you catch it? Right? It got to the point where I was expecting alien content. Seriously. And it got to the point where, okay, look, maybe it wasn't half. Maybe it wasn't half, but it sure seemed like it. Maybe it was 3 or 4. It was more than that. But now that I think about it, maybe it was every other. But did you guys notice that? So, while all this alien stuff was flowing yesterday, that's what had happened. The Reddit advertisement. Did you catch that? So here's the deal. I was already tripping watching the ET stuff, right? And so now I'm glued to the commercials, and I want to catch the next ET thing. And then something blipped on my screen. And as the next couple of commercials aired, I thought to myself, man, I got to rewind. Something ain't right. And maybe you did it too, but the reason was that in my mind, I had a frozen image planted there. That little flash by. So effective, man. Subliminal advertising like that. But to me, it was like a warning. It was red with a white background, and I could see it. It was like right here. And I thought that maybe it was a mistake or it was an error, like a commercial started and then got clipped. But something was bothering me. And then it hit me. Was that like the emergency broadcast system? Was that the emergency broadcast system? And I thought, nah, couldn't be. But I was starting to freak myself out. And I'm in the middle of this, and I don't want to do it, but I hit rewind. And I back it up, and there it was. I saw the blip, and I played it at normal speed, and they had a little static at the beginning of it and a little static at the end. That was trippy. And then I rewound it again now that I saw that it was there. Didn't have a chance to read it because it was just up there for a couple of seconds. And I rewound again. This time I hit pause. And it said this, quote, "Wow, this actually worked. If you're reading this, it means our bet paid off. Big game spots are expensive, so we couldn't buy a full one. But we were inspired and decided to spend our entire marketing budget on 5 seconds of airtime. One thing we learned from our communities last week is that underdogs can accomplish just about anything when they come together around a common idea. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the reason finance textbooks have to add a chapter on tendies. Maybe you'll help our Super Bowl teach the world about the majesty of owls. Maybe you'll even pause this 5-second ad. Powerful things happen when people rally around something they really care about, and there's a place for that. It's called Reddit," end quote. So, no, it wasn't a blip or an error, but an actual advertisement for Reddit. So, at this point, I grabbed an image of it and I posted it on social media. And I wanted to see if anybody else had caught it. And yes, many did. But, first, very cool on Reddit. This ad probably got more action than anything else that aired in the Super Bowl. But I'm sitting there and I'm challenged. I actually went back and read the ad. And there was a very interesting line, which was, "Maybe you'll help our Super Bowl teach the world about the majesty of owls." And I'm just, what is up with that? And I had to reread it because it actually reads, "Maybe you'll help our superb owl teach the world about the majesty of owls." And I was like, holy crap. Now this is getting interesting because I was already seeing the UFO, the ET, the alien messages throughout the broadcast. I was watching that. And then there is this hidden message inside of another hidden message. The ad was only 5 seconds long. It was a hidden ad. And as we all know, there are a lot of owls in the world of ufology and conspiracy. So, yes, now we really need to ask, what was going on last night during the Super Bowl, or Superb Owl? Now, I don't want to feel like I'm starting to lose my mind. I mean, did any of you catch this stuff? Or is it just me? Last night, after the Super Bowl, I go down to, I'm like, Rita, all of the ads were about E.T., and this is the thing. And you combine this Reddit ad with everything else, it just seems like I'm sure that these advertising agencies are onto what everybody else is doing. And I know that advertisers and those companies want to advertise to the biggest audience, and they want to appeal to the largest number of people possible. And I guess they feel that the way to do that is have E.T. in your commercial. I'm not, and I don't want to sound like I am just the craziest dude, because it was just so obvious and it was so blatant. And then to have Reddit, and there was another comment. This is how my brain works. There's another comment in the Reddit thing, right? We spent all of our marketing budget. Reddit is sitting on all the money they have in the world, right? It's $5.5 million for a Super Bowl spot. Reddit's got that kind of money. But it's just another commercial, right? If they do that. So whatever. What Reddit did was clever. We blew our marketing budget. No. I don't know what Reddit paid for 5 seconds. But here we are talking about it today. It was effective. It was amazing. Superb Owl. Wow. That was a great Super Bowl. That was I feel bad for the Kansas City Chiefs. They never even got into the game. I'm not talking sports at all here. They just never got into the game. And Tom Brady, he knows how to speak to he knows how to win, even though Kansas City won last year. It was pretty amazing to see the Tampa Bay Bucks show up to play, right? So what was interesting for me, even though it was a complete blowout and Kansas City literally got stomped, it allowed you to watch the game. It was an interesting game. It was great to see that. And then you're sitting through those commercials, except for that halftime. I don't know about that halftime. My daughter, big Weekend fan, huge, and she loved it. I didn't quite understand it, but there was that thing that they did with all of the last song with everybody in the red suits with the bandages, face mask thing going on. Very strange. And I think there was some messaging in there too. I just haven't figured that out yet. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Billy Carson. He's up next. You can follow him at Forbidden Knowledge right there on Twitter. He just tweeted. As I said that, I'll be right back. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. This is Fade to Black in the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back with Billy after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Billy Carson is here. This is TV Week here on Fade to Black. Tonight, Billy. Tomorrow night, Scott Walter, America Unearthed. Wednesday night, Giorgio Tsoukalos of Ancient Aliens and Dave Schrader of the Holzer Files. Holy crap, what a great week. Thursday night's another Fader night with open lines all night long. Now, tonight, Billy Carson. We're going to be talking about his new series that he is currently in the middle of shooting for Discovery Channel. And all we can say right now is that it has something to do with UFOs, but we expect that. And we're also going to talk about, his new internet TV channel that is now on Roku. It's on Apple TV and is also on Amazon Prime. He is the founder of Forbidden Knowledge, the author of the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. I wrote the foreword to that book, and the expert host on Deep Space on Gaia. Carson's Forbidden Knowledge has over 4 million followers and subscribers throughout all of social media. He is also the CEO of the First Class Space Agency based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And his space agency is involved in research and development of alternative propulsion systems and zero-point energy devices. He's also the founder of Pantheon Elite Records, a contributor to Thrive Global, and is a registered international journalist. His most recent best-selling book is Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, and I wrote the foreword to that, too. This is a massive 688-page financial Bible. All of his websites are right there over at jimmychurchradio.com. Go and click and follow, like, and subscribe to Everything Forbidden Knowledge. I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black the one and only Billy Carson. Billy, good evening, man. How are you?
Hey, fantastic. Thanks for having me back.
Man,
good to be back.
And can you hear me pretty good?
Oh, yeah. You're crisp and clear.
Because you're wearing those new Tascam TH07 headphones.
That's right, man. Recommended by you directly.
And that's it was so cool for me to see that, in that you just saw my post and you went, well, Jimmy says, and you went and ordered those on your own, didn't you?
That's right, man. I said, man, Jimmy says these are the best. I have to get them now, like right now.
They look good on you too, man. They look good.
Thank you.
Now, okay, Billy, we're going to be talking TV all night tonight, and I want to start with TV that aired worldwide yesterday. It was a thing called the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm assuming you're a sports guy. By the way, Billy is wearing an Adidas tank top and showing off his guns to me. The last thing I would do is wear a tank top on. Oh, Lord.
I was asking you if I should go get a shirt.
Oh, man. Okay, so anyway, the Super Bowl yesterday.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl side of it. Oh, I'm going to give you a fact. You ready? This is to everybody out there. The average football game is 3.5 hours. Okay, that sounds about right. Okay. Mm-hmm. The actual average time that the football is used in that 3.5 hours, 11 minutes.
Oh, man.
11 minutes. 11 minutes. And it kind of makes sense if you think the opposite in basketball, right? Yeah. That's the opposite in basketball. A 60-minute game probably lasts 2 hours. And that basketball is in play out of that 6. It's got to be 50 minutes, I would think. Timeouts and penalties and stuff. But that basketball is in play. Yeah. Not in a football game. 11 minutes, man. That's all you get for 3.5 hours. You get 11 minutes of action. Okay. Wow. Yeah. It flipped me out. Okay. So this game yesterday, though, featured another run of great commercials. Did you take the time to watch the commercials?
I watched some of them. I was entertaining a few people, so I was able to see some of the commercials, and I noticed a lot of weird. I guess we have the disclosure coming through.
Yes,
football commercials.
Yeah, you caught that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, right. I was watching. It seemed like to me. I don't know what the tally was, but it seemed like every other commercial had ETs, alien invasion, flying saucers. That was pretty interesting to see. I don't think my memory that I've ever seen that before. A couple of years ago, or was it last year, Giorgio Tsoukalos was in the Taco Bell commercial, right? And that was like a big deal. Oh, we made it, right?
Right.
we made it to the big game. Not last night, man.
Yeah.
That was a lot of ET coverage, wasn't it?
A lot of it. They were showing UFOs, aliens, alien abductions. It was a weird scenario. People walking out of UFOs. It was bizarre.
I couldn't believe it. And then Reddit. Did you catch the Reddit ad?
That one I missed. I might have been walking around making sure everybody has something to drink and things like that.
Well, you would if that's what you were doing, because the Reddit ad was only 5 seconds long.
Wow.
It was a little blip, right? And they did it with static, and I thought it was a mistake. And then, so I kept watching, because I wanted to, we're in a commercial break. I want to see some more ETs. Right?
Yeah.
So I focused on that, and I went, man, something wasn't right about that.
Yeah.
So I rewound it, and this is what was interesting. It's a Reddit ad, and it was posted up like a warning thing, and it was red and with a white background, like emergency broadcast system. And it was up there for only 5 seconds, so you had to freeze frame it and read the whole message. But in the message, Billy, it said this. Now, talking about ET and the messages that were there with disclosure, it said this. It said there was a line in there that said, "Hold on, let me pull it up because I don't want to make it. I don't want to get it wrong."
Yeah.
It said, "Quote: Maybe you'll help our superb owl teach the world about the majesty of owls." Wow. Now, Super Bowl, if you spread it apart and turn it into 2 words, it's superb owl. Now, how crazy is that, right? And teach the world about the majesty of owls, where we all know about owls and ufology. Owls, being seen at points of contact and UFO sightings and on the sides of streets when there's something, that owls are always there. And of course, they're there in conspiracies too as well.
Yeah.
And this message was right in the middle of this. So you combine all of this, and that was some kind of disclosure UFO ET Super Bowl yesterday.
Yeah, it had to be. That's what it was. It was pretty interesting to see that because, just a few years back, that would be considered total quackery. And now it's part of entertainment. They're just continuing to blend in disclosure into our everyday lives.
Now, do you think it's something as simple as, these marketing companies that are, creating these commercials and these ad campaigns, right, for these companies, where they hear that another advertising agency is going to have ET and UFOs and abduction and alien invasion in the ad campaign, so now they have to do it too?
Yeah.
Or is there something else going on where maybe they're all talking to each other?
I think you're in collusion.
Yeah, you think it's something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Would that be a conspiracy in of itself?
It would actually. It would be a conspiracy in and of itself, and maybe even there's somebody above them suggesting the marketing campaign, not forcing but suggesting.
Because it was pretty blatant.
Yeah,
I mean, it was pretty out there. And then there's another part of this. My money side, considering you just wrote a book called Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. The money side of it, where these marketing companies are going back to their clients saying, hey, the audience is UFOs. The audience is disclosure. The audience is ET. We need to connect to that audience. That's where it's at. That's where it's going. That's where the trend is. It's UFOs and disclosure, and that's what we need to make sure that is inside of this advertising campaign. And that's a pretty strong message, too, isn't it, that our community is growing?
Oh, yeah, it's growing massively and fast globally as well. So eventually it's going to come a day where everybody's going to be completely desensitized and ready to hear what's really happened in the ancient past and ready to hear what's going on right now above our heads.
The power of TV, you know about it. We'll talk about all of your TV stuff here in a second. We'll start to kick all of this off. But because of the success of Ancient Aliens, it allowed the doors to open for so many other TV shows and series and documentaries, but also other networks too. It's not just History Channel. And it has expanded out. There is a huge thirst and demand for this content right now, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, they really did kickstart this entire, new age via media of awakening people about the truth about UFOs and aliens and how the ancient past ties into the UFO phenomenon. And it really then spurred off a lot of new series and new shows and new research. So, I mean, hats off to them. A lot of people may not agree with some of the information, but man, they did a phenomenal job, in my opinion, and they really created a lot of researchers, which is the main goal of this whole thing.
I remember going back to 2008, 2009, the first episode and second episode. Back then, Ancient Aliens was a 2-hour show, okay, in the very, very beginning. But I remember watching it and thinking to myself, this was made for me, right? And if I feel that way, everybody that was watching it was feeling that way. Finally, something like this is on television. It's made for me, and boom, it resonated and connected nearly immediately, and we were off to the races. But that's the way that I felt. I couldn't believe something that cool was actually on television, right? And
man,
it resonated with everybody, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. People who had been scared to talk about UFOs or aliens in public were now talking about ancient aliens, and inadvertently now talking about UFOs and aliens in public. And the word was spreading, and people started asking more questions about their own reality, about the history they've been taught. Whereas before, some of the people who didn't even know about, the potential ancient past didn't even question it. And so this was raising a lot of new question marks, making people ask questions about their own religion, and start to dig deeper. And again, the key is always creating new researchers, people starting to look and research and trying to tap into and find out what happened, what's going on here, why are these things here, and everything. So, man, they did a great job and are still doing, in my opinion, a great job.
Now, you and I cracked a joke earlier when we were talking, talking about your other series and your other stuff, and you kind of lose track of it because you shoot so much of it, and you're out there, you know, and I've forgotten about TV shows that I have done, and I think that's pretty extraordinary. It's so much attention is from the networks now. They are trying to constantly get fresh material, fresh research out there, fresh faces to continue pushing this message forward. But when you and I lose track of how many shows that we've done, that really says a lot about the amount of programming that is out there today.
Oh, it's a lot. There's a lot of programming, man. Like we were talking about earlier. I was like, I can't remember the name of the shows I was in. There's so many shows now. It's, dozens and dozens of shows, and I got to go look up the shows and see what I was on.
Now, you let me know that you told me in advance, but then you tweeted and texted and Facebooked it out there to the world that you were in Washington, D.C. last week shooting for the Discovery Channel. Okay, what can you tell us about this new series?
Obviously, there is an NDA signed. It's going to be a phenomenal new series. It's based on an account, a famous UFO account that happened quite some time ago. I can't say the name of the exact account, but what I can say is that there is a lot of new evidence for the first time in a very, very long time, a lot of new compelling evidence that is going to, in not just one evidence, form of evidence, but quite a bit of evidence that's going to vindicate this story and the people involved. And it's going to become a really big eye opener. I think it's going to really shock the planet when we come out with this show here. And I think it's going to come out in May.
Now, how do you approach something like this? Now, I got to do a disclaimer here a little bit. I know some of the information. I don't know it all because Billy's signed an NDA and he won't tell me anything. But I pry information out of Billy the best that I can. So I think I've kind of zeroed in. We have 3, 4, 5 big cases in the past that historically are starting to get a little distant from us. right? It did. Rendlesham, which I consider a modern case, is now 40 years old. Right, that's 40. That's 4 decades ago. Travis Walton had 5 years to that. That was 1975. That's 45 years ago. You go to Betty and Barney Hill or Kecksburg, Pascagoula. All of these cases now 45, 50, 60 years old. Betty and Barney Hill. So how do you get new evidence from cases that are reaching back that far?
Well, fortunately, there are some people that are still alive that were eyewitnesses, and there are also relatives of the eyewitnesses that are still alive. And so by getting eyewitness accounts and also getting access to unseen interview footage from witnesses from that era and comparing it with this new, very relevant information as to who made up what or who's telling the truth, it's going to be a real eye opener. This one's going to be a big shock. It's really going to, I think it's going to, I'm just telling you, this one is a big one, man. I mean, I was shocked sitting there learning about getting my debriefing. My head started spinning.
Now, you just said something interesting. You said some people are telling the truth and some aren't. Are you guys going to blow the lid off of some disinformation?
Yes, we are. We're going to blow the lid off of disinformation, and we're also going to bring forth a lot of new evidence with some compelling truths as well. So people are going to be very shocked to find out what's real and what's fake. And I think it's going to really give us a lot more credibility as well, that we're not just going in and, making it our own agenda, but we're actually going to expose what's not true.
Now,
what's been embellished.
Okay, I'm going to continue the pressure on you after the break. This is very interesting. But before we get to the break, Billy, you just shot me an email of a Ford Focus that is all blacked out, black rims, black everything. I want to drive this car. It looks so good.
Thank you.
This is incredible, but this isn't for you.
Nope.
Who is this car for?
That car is a free giveaway to a lucky active subscriber of Forbidden Knowledge TV. So if you're an active subscriber of Forbidden Knowledge TV, in just a few short weeks, I'm going to randomly sort the list and pick somebody randomly out of that list who's a subscriber, and they will win that free car, paid off cash.
Now, this isn't going to be like Oprah, is it? You win a car, and then everybody gets stuck paying taxes?
Nope. What I'm going to do is give the car away as a gift for $1, and they'll pay the taxes on $1.
Man, I want this car. How do I get in on this action?
You just have to be a subscriber of Forbidden Knowledge TV. You can go to Forbidden Knowledge TV on Roku, Amazon, Fire TV, or Apple TV. Of course, also on the apps on the App Store and Android Google Play Store.
Now,
sign up.
Can I post a picture of this on Twitter?
Oh yeah, please, absolutely.
Okay, I want everybody so you can understand why I am freaking out about this. This is the Ford Focus, because people think Ford Focus, right? Okay.
Sounds like a boring car.
Yeah,
this is not what they think.
This is
it's sporty.
The blackout package and the rims. Tell everybody about that. It looks so cool.
Yeah, it's a cool blacked out sport model of the Ford Focus. It's got the dual exhaust pipes in the back, blacked out rims, blacked out headlights and tail lights. It's a really cool looking car. It makes a great second car for someone, or if you've got or you're younger or a younger generation would really love this car. Like they really would love to get their hands on this car and be able to drive around. It's pretty cool to drive around. You're not going to be embarrassed when you pull up on a group of people.
No. No. Now, forbiddenknowledge.tv or .com. Where does everybody go?
.tv.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
knowledge.tv.
Okay, I'm gonna pop the link in here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's just too cool, man. I mean, people hear about stuff like this all the time, and they are thinking one thing, and then I'm just telling you right now, this is why I'm a car guy. Billy's a car guy.
Yeah.
This is pretty tasty. Okay, I'm going to tweet this out right now.
Great.
This is everybody's good. I said to Billy before, I want wait. I want in on this action, man. Okay.
I see it here. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there it is. Now you want that car, don't you? Look at that. Man, Billy, you're the best, man. You are the absolute best. And so just head over to forbiddenknowledge.tv, Billy's TV network. And now, do people have time to get signed up?
Oh, yeah. You have a few weeks. So sign up. It's a totally free enrollment. You get 3 days free on Forbidden Knowledge TV. And after that, it becomes an active subscription. It's only $7.77 a month. It's about 35 cents a day to get access to now over 3,000 amazing shows, everything from Esoteric Wisdom, my Egyptian Mystery School series, which is up to episode 33 now. And then we've got yoga, meditation courses, exercise and fitness, plant-based cooking. We have chefs. I have real chefs. My personal chef has his own show on there.
Right. And is there any Jimmy Church on there?
Jimmy Church is definitely on the platform. Of course he is. So you can watch Jimmy Church Radio on Forbidden Knowledge TV.
Man, that's a good-looking car. Let's take a break, and I have it up in Twitter. Everybody can go follow me right now on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox, and go and check out what Billy is giving away over on his TV network. Now, this show isn't about this giveaway. It is now because Billy showed this to me minutes before the show tonight. I had no idea. And I am a car guy. I'm a Ford guy. And I'm telling you right now, that is really cool. Billy, thank you so much for that. Let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, kicking off TV week, is Billy Carson on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Now, follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can follow Billy on Twitter at Forbidden Knowledge. We've got all of the links up in the feed right now. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We are also Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. This is Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Billy Carson. This is TV week here on Fade to Black, and to have the caliber of TV hosts that we've got this week, of course, tonight is Billy Carson. Tomorrow night, Scott Walter, and Wednesday night, Giorgio Tsoukalos. And Giorgio just texted me during the break that he is so excited about this Wednesday. And, of course, Dave Schrader with the Holzer Files. So we've got an amazing week coming up. And Billy, very early on, as we discovered you, right, and saw what you were doing, pulled you into Fade to Black, and that. It seems now like it was a long time ago, but that was about, 4 years ago, maybe 5?
Yeah, 4 years, maybe 4.5 years now.
Yeah, and what a great relationship we have. But that's not the point. The point is, the one thing that caught my attention with you is that you take the power of video very, very seriously. And you approach this differently than anybody else that I know. Probably besides Rita and I, where we knew that there is a different way to approach all of this, and there is an audience out there for it, and you were doing the same things, and we just combined, our efforts here. But you realized not only the power of social media, but the power of the camera, the power of video, the power of television, the power of internet TV. What was it that did that for you? Is it your kids, right? Or, is it the next generation? What caused that?
Well, I realized that I wanted to be able to reach a lot of people and maximize my efforts doing it. So early on, this is back around maybe 2011, I started really analyzing and studying what the big networks did to gain all of their listeners and subscribers and TV viewers. And so I started looking real deep into it, and I found out that they hire neuroscientists. So they spend millions and millions of dollars to do these studies and these test markets and these subliminal messages to acquire the base that they've built. So I said, well, they've already invented the wheel. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to study everything that they've done and duplicate that, but use it for consciousness and not for the dark side. And so that's what I've done.
Subliminal messages?
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. What are you suggesting here? Don't freak everybody out.
Well, they would literally, this is before a certain law came out, they would run a show, and during the show, even a cartoon, there would be a 1 millisecond flash, kind of like what you saw with the Reddit ad, but way less in terms of the time frame. It'd be a millisecond, a half a second. It would be an ad for McDonald's fries. It would be a subliminal message to a Coca-Cola logo. All these different types of programming codes would come through in milliseconds throughout an entire show. They used to do it in the movie theaters as well, right? When you're looking at all the previews for the shows that are coming up, they would play subliminal messages there as well. More recently, that just has now been banned, but they still do it in very, very other weird ways. They still find a way to get those messages hidden within the video that's playing. Product placement, hidden Easter eggs inside the video and things like that. So when I went to MIT to study neuroscience, applied neuroscience, and I learned a lot of these other techniques, and I was already on the path. A lot of the stuff I already knew and was doing. I got confirmation, really, is what I got when I went there. But now, I've said I'm going to maximize all this knowledge, and I'm going to use it to create a world full of researchers and new generations of kids that have something to look forward to other than what they've been taught.
And the expansion of forbidden knowledge into film, TV. You're on Roku, you're on Apple TV, you're on Amazon Prime. You have, of course, forbiddenknowledge.tv as a web portal to all of this. The expansion has come very, very rapid. How do you? Is it because there's a thirst for knowledge, not only for UFOs and crazy conspiracy theory, but the self and consciousness?
Yeah. There right now is an awakening that is happening on this planet. People see a lot of negativity because a lot of that's what's projected on TV. Again, the mainstream will project a lot of the negativity to keep people in a fear mode. And also, there's a lot of negativity that does appear on social media. However, people have to realize this stuff has already been happening. What's now happening is not that things are getting worse. It's just that they're getting more revealed in a faster rate because of technology. Overall, there are a lot more people seeking spirituality. There are a lot more people asking questions, trying to relearn what they need to know on this planet. Also, a lot more people really trying to operate from a different mindset of unconditional love instead of hate. And you don't get to see that a lot because a lot of that's not what they want you to see. But it is true. It's happening right now. And I think it's because of where we are as a civilization, as we move through this Yuga cycle. I think we're heading back up into a silver age, and eventually we'll make it to a golden age sometime in the future. But this is the beginning stage. These are the birth pains as we move up that Yuga cycle.
Now, isn't it interesting that there are so many networks out there that want to engage in fear? Mm-hmm. It's fear. It's fear. It's divisive. It's us against them. Go hate your neighbor.
Yeah.
That is out. And you, again, a lot like Fade to Black, you do not do that.
No.
And there is, with your success in this type of programming, it says to me, and it should send a message to everybody, including all of the networks, that fear is not the way to go. You can have all the success you want with a positive message.
That's right. Absolutely. I say it all the time. The reason why I started my record label was to put out positive music for the youth. And I try to tell some of the more popular artists, music artists that I've now come in contact with because of my popularity growing, when they contact me and ask me for consultation and things like this, that I try to tell them that you can do the same thing you're doing now, but you can twist the message and incorporate positive information, because all people really care about is the beat. That's really what they care about. If I hear a new song right now, the beat is going to grab me first. And if I like the beat, I like the rhythm, I like the instruments, then I'll learn the hook, and then eventually I'll learn the words. By the time I get to the words, now I'm taking in a fractal of whatever consciousness put those words in there. So if you put in positive information, put a spin on it, empower people, make them feel good about themselves, make them learn about things through the actual words, you can actually heal the planet and make things better and still become a multimillionaire or a billionaire, whatever you want to be. It doesn't have to be this dark side.
I remember going through so many of your artists and first off, you're absolutely right. The music is great, right? But then I went back and I'm like listening, and some of these R&B singers that you have are fast, right? So you've really got to. But I'm like, did he just say Inky? Did he just say Anunnaki? Did he just say pyramids? Did he just say, right? I think he just said Zeta Reticuli, right? And I'm listening, and I was blown away by that. And it's not just a couple; it is a big segment of R&B. This R&B with a message.
Yeah, it's a new way of doing it now, encoding the secret messages, the real ancient past, the real truth about aliens and UFOs, and even just being open to want to hear about it. And so when people start hearing these lyrics and they go, Anunnaki, is that what he said? I got to Google that.
Right.
Now we got a researcher. Boom. That's how we do it.
And the production in their videos, which is going right back to what we're talking about, in television. The production on this is great, so everybody's going to want to watch it. But then you get into it, and then you get to the message. It's absolutely an incredible approach.
Yeah, thank you. So all of our music videos are on Forbidden Knowledge TV. We have a whole conscious music section with not just rap, but a very array of different genres on there as well.
Now, back to television for a second. The ability for you to cover consciousness, cooking, yoga, exercises, all of this is, when I say growing, it is like exponentially exploding out there right now, isn't it? It's just incredible.
It's going crazy right now. I mean, when my chef was over here this weekend, he said, I just came from Publix grocery store, and now the entire store is almost like Whole Foods. Everything in there turned to organic, and everywhere you look, you turn on TV, Samsung's got a free health channel on there now for you to do exercises. If you have the Samsung TV, everywhere you turn, it's just exploding, and people are now looking into, all the yoga, going back into Tai Chi and all the stuff. Everybody is looking for the alternative now, the alternative to the norm. They want this information. They want to do these different things. They want to change in their lives. They're tired of the old-fashioned stuff that happened for the last few, 100 years. Everybody's like, you know what? We need something new, because what's happening, what's been going on, it's not working. How can we evolve? How can we become better? How can we get more knowledge of self? And so all these self-help shows and these wisdom teachings, that's what people really want. They really dig it.
Now, what about the the different segments of society, where I think most people, when they talk about or think about the UFO subject, that this is a white subject, right?
Yeah,
it's
That's
not,
true.
is it? And
No.
you, being not only a man of color, but you are the head of your own network, and you are also hosting all of this television programming. And that is one thing that the jokes have been made over the years, that a UFO abduction is a couple of white guys in a fishing boat drinking beer in a swamp in Louisiana, right?
Oh, yeah.
That is not the case, is it?
Not the case. I take a lot of heat every single day. I mean, I get by my own people, I get hammered pretty good. But a lot of them are starting to come around. And over the years now, I've created such an inquiry in people's brains that a lot of the people who initially were hating or doubting are now even coming back and saying, man, I looked into this, you've been saying, and it's pretty interesting. And a lot of people have actually gone away from religion and moved into spirituality because of it. But I still see a lot of crazy comments. One guy commented, a black guy, he says, under one of my UFO posts, and he says, man, black people don't talk about UFOs. I said, no, black people are just embarrassed and scared to talk about UFOs because they're afraid of the ridicule. But black people have UFO experiences. Black people have abduction experiences. Black people have multidimensional situations and experiences and everything else, just like every other race does. But we've been told to suppress that, and that it was the demons and the devil and everything else. And we're afraid to talk about it because we think we're going to burn in a lake of fire or something. And it's just not the case.
No. I was on the phone the other day, and somebody made a funny comment to me, talking about the Bible, and said there are no white people in the Bible. Right? And I actually had to stop and think about that for a second.
Yeah,
he's probably right.
The Bible is written in the Mesopotamia region, which back in that era was an extended area of Africa into that region. But either way, a lot of people always want to claim to be the first this and the first that. Okay, well, do you have to read the Bible then and take claim to the fact that if they were all black, well, we enslaved each other and other races as well in the Bible. And slave masters used to beat their slaves in the Bible. And even Jesus in the Bible says, treat your slave master as you would treat me, in terms of respecting and everything else. So, and there's rules for, so, I mean, you want to take, people like to beat their chest a lot, but then without doing the research. I think if they did a little more research, they may not want to make that claim. It's pretty bad.
Well, and I don't think ET sees skin color.
No, I don't.
No,
think so,
I just don't see that. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think if we leave this planet and go to another planet that's inhabited, they're going to say, "Who are you?" You're going to say, "I'm an Earthling." You're not going to say, "I'm an American," right? You're going to say, "I'm an Earthling. I come from a planet named Earth." All of a sudden, race disappears. When you travel to another planet, you don't go, I'm an American from North America on this particular continent in this city called, no. You're just going to say, I'm an Earthling.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And that's when the reality sets in. I'm just an Earthling. I'm a person that, resides on a planet called Earth. And so we have to drop away all of this chest beating and I want to be the first one and I want to be the first one. Even the Anunnaki weren't all one race. And, so you have the chest beaters. Oh, the Anunnaki were this race. The Anunnaki were that race. Actually, no, they were a mixed race. Some were even from different planets. And so they were a mixed race of people. And I go through that extensively in some of my research material and show sources that not only were they mixed races, they were different colors, blue, green. There was some really strange colors back in the day. But, we have to drop all this. And that's why I try to skew away from religion, just because it forces divide and conquer, because there's a chosen people in that book, and the chosen people get all these extra benefits that the other people don't get. And, they get to go inside the gates of heaven while the other people who make it there have to live on the outskirts. And I mean, that's just creating animosity and envy and jealousy. It doesn't create any kind of peace and love and joy whatsoever. So, And I try to teach people, let's think about spirituality. Let's get a direct connection to the divine. Let's look within ourselves. Let's learn how to love one another. And in true reality, we are all one energy. There is no race. These avatar bodies are artificial biological robots. If you can see the energetic fields, which is all that really truly exists, we're just frequencies interacting with frequencies, and we're all from the same one source frequency, just different aspects. So like you're on radio station, Jimmy Church Radio, 99.1, 99.2, 99.3. I'm 99.1, you're 99.2. The other person's 99.3. We're just different aspects of the same frequency. It's all it really is.
Now, what about the demographics of Forbidden Knowledge, your network?
Yeah.
Who's watching?
Oh, it's mixed. It's a global network. So it's everyone in the world. We've got mixed races and mixed nationalities from everywhere on the entire planet on Forbidden Knowledge. Everybody from New Zealand to people in Africa, of course, all over Europe, Japan. I mean, it's really amazing to look at these stats. India is huge, massive following in India. And of course, North and South America's, Australia. It's just really amazing to see. So it's everybody.
And what about the interaction when people are posting and commenting? Do they start to ask questions because maybe they had a contact experience? And, and when they do that, is there a demographic that is doing that more? Is it out of Europe? Is it South America? You know, where does that interaction come from?
Well, I think because the majority of our subscribers are in North America, we're getting the majority of those kind of questions, I would have to say, from people in America. I can't see, there's no avatar in the comment section for the TV network, so I can't really tell what race they are. But there are a lot of comments that go in, because if you're not watching on a TV app like Roku or something, if you're watching through the web or the app, the mobile app, you can actually comment under the videos. Some videos have 1,000, 2,000 comments under them. Most of them are praise for the content. The majority are praise, but every now and then we do get some people that are talking about experiences, asking questions about spirituality, asking questions about ancient history or UFOs, things like that. And I try to get in there and answer as many as I possibly can, but now there's literally so many thousands of them, it gets a little bit harder every day as the network grows.
And what about disclosure? You know, you're a big part of that today. Yeah. Where's your audience with that?
They are really coming around. Everybody is really, starting to believe that or understand that human beings are just the new kids on the block. And based off the understanding and the teachings that have gone through now through the network and through a lot of my workshops and lectures, they're starting to really realize that there is an abundance of life that potentially could exist outside of Earth. And I tell them, there is a big disclosure coming that'll be mainstream disclosure within the next 5 years. And that's going to be the announcement of life on Mars. And they're going to announce bacteria first, most likely. That will be the first alien life will be bacteria. But that will open the eyes of a lot of people.
And with the media, this is what I find so strange. The way that the media has been dealing with this with the last 3 years, this explosion in disclosure and the topic of UFOs. You combine that with what happened in the Super Bowl yesterday. The subject of disclosure now has pushed beyond our community. It is really rapidly spreading quickly. Do you think that it's one thing with our community to demand disclosure and constantly talk about it and keep it out there, but if the rest of the world gets on board, then we've got a situation to deal with, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. And I think what's happening is a lot of people that are up and coming, the new generation of people that will eventually take over political positions and positions of power that have been craving for this disclosure will be the ones that press the magic button and start releasing things. So it's only a matter of time.
Now, when we come back after the break, I want to talk about some other conspiracy stuff that is going around right now. did you anticipate this thing that happened not only in North America but around the world with conspiracies? There's thousands of them now, and there's new ones every single day. Is that a dangerous zone for the world to get into, to suspect that everything is a conspiracy and without doing any research or investigation into this, or a total lack of discernment?
It's extremely dangerous. It's very dangerous and detrimental to not only your mental health but also to your physical being, because some people have actually gotten hurt, attacked, beaten because of these conspiracies. It can destroy your name. It's really a bad situation. I try to tell people you can be a fanatic at anything, including conspiracies. You have to watch out for people that are susceptible to fanaticism, because fanaticism will creep in like a virus into anything and completely destroy it. And we have to be careful that we're not taking something too far. Everything can't be a conspiracy. We have to learn how to do research and discern information for ourselves and break it down. And take some time before you just jump out and start making these wild claims about people and getting people attacked.
What I did find interesting is there's the talk of censorship, Facebook and Twitter and what have you. There's that element of it. And then there is the other part where you have talking heads on mainstream TV pushing some of this stuff forward without having evidence. Well, people are getting sued now. And these are big billion-dollar lawsuits being thrown around. Will this help center everybody and be careful about what you want to push out there as a conspiracy theory? Because if you don't have something to back it up, you could find yourself on the other side of a pretty serious lawsuit.
Yeah, that's correct. You can find it if you don't have any money, they'll just put a judgment against you. You'll never be able to buy a house or a car or anything because of that judgment on your credit. So you have to be very careful with what you're saying, what you're doing. I remember Elon Musk said publicly on Twitter that somebody was a pedophile without any proof or evidence of it. And whether he was true or not didn't matter. He ended up going into a court case in a suit, having to pay an attorney hundreds of thousands of dollars and then a payoff at the end, I believe, to get out of that situation. So you got to be tricky what you say and what you say about people without any evidence at all. And even if you have evidence, if it's something that a person has done to you, okay. But if the person's done nothing to you, there's no reason or need for you to try to dox them or go after them or try to, quote unquote, expose them just because you think it's going to get you some likes and things like that. You're going to put out a lot of negative energy, and that negative energy is a boomerang. It's going to come right back at you. We all got skeletons in the closet.
No question about it. So let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, the one and only Billy Carson, kicking off night one of TV week here on Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More with Billy right after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRAradio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. TV week here on Fade to Black. Tonight, Billy Carson. Tomorrow night, Scott Walter. Wednesday night, Giorgio Tsoukalos and Dave Schrader. And more with Billy in just a second. I want to talk to you about Virtual Shield VPN. Because a couple of weeks ago, the data of 2.3 million users was leaked after a hacker found a backdoor into the popular dating site Meet Mindful. The personal data included names, Facebook IDs, emails, birth dates, and location data. The data was then uploaded to a public hacking forum for anybody to download. If you want to prevent attacks like this from happening to you, I highly recommend Virtual Shield. Virtual Shield will completely encrypt your Wi-Fi connection, blocking hackers and everyone else from accessing any of your data. Virtual Shield is the only VPN I'll use. I've got 2 studios. I've got 3 studios. I've got lots of computers. All of them use Virtual Shield VPN. They have a strict no-log policy and built into their software from the ground up for privacy protection. Go to virtualshield.com/fade to black to get Virtual Shield right now for 50% off today, or by visiting the link in the video description box right below this video that you are watching right now. Virtual Shield VPN. Get it now. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Billy Carson. We're talking TV. We're going to be talking TV all week. And conspiracy theory is another interesting aspect to all of this, Billy. Do the major media networks bear some responsibility for the spread of conspiracy theory today?
I believe they do. Unfortunately, there's a lot of information that they put out that's not accurate. Even though people take the mainstream as accurate, well, there's a lot of inaccuracies in their information and a lot of hypotheticals or theoretical information that's posed as real or actual, and that's not the case. And so people hear it, and the way that it's put out to them psychologically in a very strange way that makes people believe it and run off with that information and start regurgitating it to other people.
Now, is it too late for the major networks out there to pull back, not only with conspiracy theory but with divisiveness?
It's not too late, man. I mean, this planet could be a a true heaven on earth. I mean, that's our mission, is really to bring heaven to earth. And it's not too late for any of this to really take a swift change in the right direction. I think that the powers that be just have to realize that, yes, fear will allow you to control people. Divide and conquer will allow you to control people. However, love will allow everyone to live in peace and tranquility where control isn't needed and everyone can still prosper. They haven't been able to figure that out yet.
Why is that?
I think it has a lot to do with programming and epigenetic memories. Just like epigenetic memories plague the African American community because of the 400 years of torture that was endured, the RNA has transferred those ancient memories from ancestors into my body. I can suffer from PTSD, depression, suicidal thoughts based off of what happened 5, 10, 15 generations ago. Same thing happens with these people that are in positions of power. They've been handed down epigenetic memories through the RNA of this type of, I guess, domination mentality, and they act it out. And they've also been taught and raised in it, and so it's hard for them to also change their programming. They don't even realize they're running on programming, and they're not really running on their own true subconscious thought. They're actively just running code through the subconscious, not that they've had any input on it. And some break away from it, some recode themselves, but a lot of them are just running the program code on both sides.
How do you approach not only your programming when you're creating content, but when you're seeking out content? What is it that you look for?
I'm looking for primarily a lot of information that can educate people on the truth about the ancient past, because I really think the past is prologue. And if we don't really get a very good understanding of what happened in the past, we're going to be destined to fail again in the future. There's been no, and the reason why I do this, there's been no text that I've ever read. Now, I've gone through 1,000 texts, cylinder scrolls, cuneiform tablets, papyruses, you name it, scriptures, and I haven't seen anywhere written where we have to continue to fall again and again and again. I'd like to see it. How can we reach a stage in development on this planet where we actually gain our lessons and learn our lessons from the ancient past and sustain a real golden age without having to fall again? That's the ultimate mission. I mean, that would be so I try to put out programming that leads us in that direction.
What I have noticed, I really enjoy old TV programming when it comes to lost history in Egypt and Easter Island. You can go even before Chariots of the Gods came out. There was a lot of programming out there by very, very courageous researchers that were doing that. Got a lot of heat back then. But I watch that older programming, and they were onto something, and they knew that something wasn't right. And I think about the programming today that you have done, where we have taken this so much further. There's so much more new information, and we can combine some of those ideas from the past, but it's science and the data today that can be applied to all of this. And that's exactly what's going on. The programming today is really, really comprehensive.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of comprehensive programming, a lot of great new information, a lot of new research always popping up. Things that, another piece of the puzzle pops up and you go, oh, now I'm getting a better picture here. And so what we've done is we've incorporated some of those great old shows and documentaries that you like. We've licensed a lot of those and put them on the network. And we also then come back with updates and information along the same lines that they were trying to explain or discuss or theorize. And, we bring more information and knowledge to that. And then the Egyptian Mystery Schools that I've done, which is a massive tome of information. I think we have 80 episodes still in editing right now. We're up to episode 33 has been released. So there's 33 episodes. It's the #1 series watched on Forbidden Knowledge TV right now is my Egyptian Mystery School, which is me teaching all of the ancient Egyptian mysteries from the beginning all the way up.
What is left to be discovered in Egypt? There is too much sand, right? There's too much sand. And it seems that when I go to not only forbiddenknowledge.tv, but if you go into PBS and you get into Nat Geo, they are out there funding archaeological digs and projects every single day. And they are finding so much stuff where you would seem that it all stopped with Howard Carter, right?
Yeah.
And King Tut's tomb. That's not the case, is it? There's so much more to be discovered in Egypt.
There's so much there. Even with ground-penetrating radar from satellites above Giza, we found now another 200 pyramids on the plateau buried in sand. And Egypt is one of those civilizations that was built upon on one civilization on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. That's why as you go into some of these ancient sites, you find out that you see ancient temples underneath the more newer ancient temples. And the further you dig down, you find even another ancient temple under that one. It's incredible how far back this really, really goes. We're talking about an antediluvial civilization right after the Great Flood about 36,000 years ago, rising up and building in the land of Chem, rising up and building up in a very advanced civilization. There's an entire civilization buried in that sand. Now, what's interesting is a lot of the sand that's there is not from that area. That's the most interesting part. A lot of the sand on Giza was brought and dumped there.
Say what?
Yeah, a lot of the sand, and a lot of the sand that's covering Göbekli Tepe, your favorite, your famous term, Göbekli Tepe. Well, that sand was also imported to that area and dumped on that place.
Now,
this is incredible.
I was reading an article the other day. An archaeologist. Now, this is mainstream. This isn't fringe. Yeah. I forget the country and the college that is doing the dig. I'll get to that in a future episode. But found layered. This is on the Giza Plateau. Finding crustaceans that are from the ocean, salt water. Now, the Nile is right there. This isn't the Nile. The Mediterranean is much further north.
Yeah.
But layers of sediment that would suggest a completely different situation going back, and he is suggesting 50,000 years. And these crustaceans were used in the production of stone and mortar and other things a very long time ago, not 2600 BC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And that's very accurate. So basically, that 50,000 year mark is right around the time that this planet, or that region at least, were still underwater. And around the two precessional periods ago, in the constellation, coming out of the constellation of Leo alignment, that's when the water started to reside, started to go down, and the temples were coming back up, and Thoth witnessed, ancient temples coming back up out of the mud, and people who had survived the floods were living in caves and all this kind of stuff. But about 50,000 years ago, that region was underwater.
Now, why is it that this is the $1 million question? Why is it that not only Egypt, but other governments of the world want this information suppressed? This isn't some crazy conspiracy theory of mine or of yours or other researchers. They know something. They know more than they're leading, and they don't want this information out. Why?
Because it will let us know that there is or was an advanced civilization that primarily may have been interplanetary, maybe even intergalactic. And if that's the case, if they were that advanced, where are they now? Are they still here? Are they interacting with us? Or are they even a threat to us? And what type of technology have they left behind? What have you guys scavenged from these ancient civilizations that you're hiding in those deep underground bunkers? It raises a lot of questions.
Now, it's really, I think today, especially with the generations that are behind us, younger, they're okay with this. Mm-hmm. They understand. They have more knowledge today than any other point in history, and they're looking at this, and the the question of another civilization being a part of our history here on Earth is not really that big of a deal. And the more that they find out, I think the angrier people are getting with this.
Yeah, it's causing a lot of frustration. It's causing a lot of anger towards the governments and the media for not disclosing information. It's making people ask the same question. Why are they doing this to us? Why? And the reason is, well, they lose control of the religious finances, which just in America alone, religion brings in more money than all of the tech companies in Silicon Valley combined in 1 year. Combined. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of dosh. And they also own a lot of property where they are able to keep that stuff on lockdown. Yeah. The reason why I keep bringing up the younger generation, forbidden knowledge and your network that you have built out there, its foundation from what I have seen is it's a younger generation, right? Yes, it's not you and I. You and I are the old guys in the room, right?
Yeah.
And I say that without jest. I'm saying that as a fact. It's a younger generation. I thought when I was 15 that eventually my generation would grow up, grab hold of state and local governments and Washington, D.C., and pot would be legal. Now, in 1978, 1979, that's crazy talk, right? Because the power that was controlling the laws and law enforcement is there, and we're not going to get anywhere. Well, you know what? That happened. Our generation grew up, and eventually, probably in a couple of more years, pot is going to be completely legal in every state. The same thing is going on with lost history and its knowledge. My daughter came in to the house the other day and said to me out of the blue, Billy, out of the blue, we're living in a simulation. I said, well, where are you coming with this? This is all me and my friends talk about. We're living in a simulation. Now, wait a minute here. It's not the living in the simulation part, and that was fantastic. Okay, she didn't get that from me.
Yeah.
But she said, this is what me and my friends talk about. Their generation is going to grow up, and they will be in the halls of power. They're going to be the ones controlling the information in the future, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's what I said earlier in the show. And eventually, these younger generations of people that are conscious and into this alternative information are going to take over these different positions of power in government and media, and they're going to start pressing the right buttons and releasing information to the world. Things are going to change within the next 15 to 20 years significantly on this planet, significantly.
I'm so excited about this, and those that control the information are not going to be around forever, and it just makes me wonder what it's going to be like in the next 5, 10, 15, or 20 years with this information, and how schools are handled, how the education system is done, how textbooks are written, and how the past is considered, and that is where we are headed, right?
Oh, absolutely. Everything is going to become completely revamped. The way that we're taught in school, the educational system, there'll be a lot of virtual teachers, virtual professors. You'll see there will be no more actual physical books. It'll move into tablets and computer data information. There'll be no more actual books to walk around with and things like that. And a lot of the information is going to be updated to a little bit more accurate, not completely accurate, but a little more accurate, a little closer to the truth, gradually over time. Maybe by another generation or two, we get, history books that are talking about the fact that the Sphinx is not most likely 2,000 years old, but probably more like 30 or 40,000 years old because of weathering and aging and dating of the weathering patterns on the Sphinx and things like that. So a lot of this stuff that's been considered alternative is going to go right into mainstream.
Now, the pandemic changed everything for how not only music is watched today, sports. It was pretty funny yesterday in the Super Bowl to see 30,000 photographed cutouts of people in the stands, right?
Yeah.
There's been a drastic change in approach to everything. And it is music and sports, but it's network television and how things are produced. You were already doing this. You were already. We'll talk about the Conscious Life Expo when we come back after the break. But you're with us on the Conscious Life Expo, which is not a live event. I've introduced you every year at the Conscious Life Expo, and you know how big and important that event is. But now it's online. But you have already been doing this. You were doing this before the pandemic.
That's right.
You approached this completely differently from another mindset. And it says to me that you were a step ahead of the game. You kind of saw the future and how this can be done and done effectively and fun for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I just analyzed some of the, I took a piece of paper out and I drew a line down the center of the paper. And I wrote down the benefits of going to a live event and the benefits of doing a virtual event or attending a virtual event from the perspective of the actual attendee. And what I came up with was there were a lot of benefits of attending the virtual event, whereas a lot of people could never afford to go to a live event because a live event, let's face it, is for more affluent people that can afford to buy airline tickets, get an Uber or rent a cars every single day, buy food on the road every single day while you're out. It's very expensive.
Hotels rooms. Expensive. Yeah, hotels.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very expensive. So now all of a sudden in the virtual world, for a fraction of the cost, I can have 15, 20 people at my house. I can have my family watch for the cost of one admission ticket. I can replay it over and over again because at the live event, you have to take notes. And while people were taking notes, they were missing my next statement or they couldn't get all my information. I saw that when I would be speaking live, and because you can't record when you're there live, right? So they would try to then buy the DVDs at the end, but they forget, or they weren't made up yet, or you get home, you put the DVD and it doesn't play. That happened to me so many times. It's crazy. It was a broken DVD. But here now they get the digital replay for life for free. They can pause, they can go to the bathroom and come back and So it's just much more benefit financially, for comfort, and of course now with safety. It's just a phenomenal way to do it. And it gets people, more people that would never have thought about getting a ticket for one of these events to actually now be a part of something.
Now, and so the way that you've been approaching these live events, and it seems that you're doing one or two a month now. Am I wrong with that? I mean, every time I talk to you, you just finished another live, and you are able to laser focus and fine tune these subjects and go into something for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours at a crack.
Right. Yeah, I go in, man. I mean, the last one was supposed to be a 5-hour workshop on the secrets of Atlantis and the evidence of the Anunnaki. And I ended up doing 8.5 hours, just me by myself talking. I had Thomas Jensen come on and talk for about an hour, but the rest of that was just all me. And then previous when I did the Manifest Destiny 2021 workshop, supposed to give them 6 hours. I gave them 8 hours. When I got to 6 hours, there was still 1,200 people in the class. I could see it on the Zoom number. I was like, well, let's keep on going. You guys want to talk some more? They were like, yeah. So I just kept on teaching for another 2 hours. So it's really a benefit, and I can answer a lot of questions, where at the live event it's pretty tough to do,
Well, the live events, and I'm not taking anything away from it because I thrive on that.
Mm-hmm.
I love the interaction. I love being able to eat and hang out and break bread and meet everybody face to face. And I thrive on a crowd. I like going into a room, with 2, 3, 4, 500,000, 2,000 people in it. Mm-hmm. There is something to be said about that. But an online presentation like you, now it's a global thing. And look, we all understand the internet today. We get that when we say global. Well, it is. And not everybody can come in from Europe or from Asia and Japan or Africa, Central America, South America, and attend these events, but they can online. And you've figured out a way to market this and to get the message out.
Yeah, absolutely. I have so many accounts. I have 140 social media accounts across all networks. And so that gives me the ability. I have so many niche accounts. Like I'm going to do a virtual retreat in April. Instead of, a lot of people go to these big retreats where they spend $2,000 or $3,000 plus the hotel, plus the food. I'm going to do a virtual retreat for like $200. And it'll have the same exact things you go to for a physical in-person retreat, but virtually. Yoga, meditation, training, teaching on how to do different types of meditation, spirituality teachings, body hacks, exercise and fitness. All these things are going to be done on the virtual workshop, and people are going to love it.
Now, has our DNA effectively been changed? You brought this up earlier. Yeah. But did the pandemic, 365 days now, right? Mm-hmm. Has our DNA been changed? Do people now understand what a virtual setting can be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've definitely been re-encoded now with this new way of living, a new way of thinking, a new lifestyle, a new way of being a part of or connecting with people. And this pandemic was such a shocker for the human genome that the information from this pandemic has made it into our RNA, ribonucleic acid, which is now getting encoded with the information about this ripple in space-time that occurred. And it's going to be passed down from 15 to 20 generations. So this is moving humanity in a whole new direction. The code is going to push us into the direction of the virtual world.
And we're going to take a break right here. I wanted to ask you this. The fact that our faces have been covered for a year, mm-hmm. human interaction, which has always been face-to-face, mm-hmm. are they mad? Are they happy? Right. How about even who you are? Right? You're walking down the street with a face mask on. You're not Billy Carson to me anymore. Right. You and I could pass each other and not even realize that we were just in front of each other.
Right.
Right. That has to have affected the way the brain works.
Yeah. That's going to have a psychological effect on people, and it could cause an increase in depression. I'm seeing an increase right now in my DMs and my message box from Facebook, an increase in suicide letters and suicide notes that come into me. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I've been getting them since day one, but now they've increased a bit, between 5 to 10 a day on average. So there's going to be an increase in a type of a PTSD from this situation, and a lot of stress on relationships that are going to cause a lot of breakups or have potentially caused a lot of breakups. And of course, the big real estate sweep up is coming as well as all these people begin to lose their homes and so forth.
Yeah, I was. We got to take a break right here. I was at a supermarket a couple of days ago, and I'm with the cashier, and something funny was said, and so forth. Anyway, I literally said, "I'm smiling. I've got a face mask on. I'm smiling." Yeah. And she said, "So am I." And then she pulled down her face mask and smiled, and I was taken aback. I got to see somebody's face. Right. I mean, it was just how much have our brains been changed? Yeah. It's mind-blowing. Yeah, it's mind-blowing to me. Let's take our break right here. Our guest, Billy Carson, kicking off Night 1 TV Week here on Fade to Black. More with Billy after this short break. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal God on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to getthetea.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's getthetea.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Billy Carson is with us. And we're talking about virtual events, and the big virtual event is coming up February 19th through the 21st. It is the Conscious Life Expo, and you can go over to jimmychurchradio.com right now and click on the Conscious Life Expo banners that we have over there. And check out the schedule. When you head over, the first thing I want everybody to do is go to the 2021 schedule. It is at the top of the page, and scroll down and check out everything that we have got going on. And Billy Carson is featured, and he is doing a keynote. Billy, what are you going to be speaking about this year at the Conscious Life Expo 2021 event?
I'm going to speak about the evolution of consciousness and how RNA and epigenetic memories control our destiny to the future.
Now, consciousness today, Billy, is a conversation that everybody seems to be having, not only on the scientific side, in the hard sciences, but in our community. But it is probably one of the most misunderstood words out there. Yeah. When you say consciousness, give me your definition.
My definition is a stream of constant information coming from the one true divine source that our avatar bodies literally encapsulate a particular frequency of for a short period of time, or temporally encapsulate, and then we animate this avatar body with that consciousness. But that consciousness is an aspect, or all aspects of one main source, one main divine source. Just like the Big Bang is pretty much given us all the energy and all the atoms and everything we see in the entire universe. Consciousness has literally given us all the entities that appear to be sentient in the entire universe, and it really runs through everything, even through rocks, even through the atoms that make up the microphone I'm talking into now.
Now, okay, so when you say the one, is there, and I'm trying to understand this more and more today, like we all are you suggesting that, let's just speak with our universe, that there is one consciousness that is in the universe? Help me understand.
I believe that there's only one consciousness, that there's not, like, in other words, me and you appear to be two separate people, but separation is an illusion. We're both the same exact person. We're just different aspects of the same person is what we are. So I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to myself. Consciousness is just one thing, and what it's done is it's separated itself into slightly different frequencies so it can perceive different aspects of life and reality in the third dimension. It's on a data collection mission. And in my personal belief, through my research, the face of God is not a man or a woman with a magic wand, but it is the flower of life, in my opinion, is the face of God.
What I have, talking about religion, what I have always found very interesting is that all religions, pretty much, I'm going to say everyone, talked about us, this place is from up there.
Yeah.
Right? That consciousness, right? That it's up there. We're just a part of it and living in it down here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what you're suggesting, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. We're in the third dimension, so we're in the third density. But even quantum physicists now and theoretical physicists have theorized that we're living in a 11-dimensional universe. They theorize that the universe would collapse if there weren't 11 dimensions. And so we're in the third density of this dimension. But I believe that consciousness exists outside of that, and it streams down through every dimension till it gets down to the third. And we pick up a particular frequency or aspect of that through our magnetite crystals and the neural correlates of consciousness, which are 3 giant neurons that wrap around the inside of the skull, and they resemble a crown of thorns. If you understand that analogy there, every single person on this earth is walking around with a crown of thorns right now. But the neural correlates of consciousness, those 3 neurons, the magnetite crystals, and the neocortex is what helps to encapsulate that frequency and hold it in the avatar body.
Now, isn't all of this represented not only in ancient text and scripture, but it's also illustrated throughout history? It seems like they understood more than we understand today.
Oh, yeah. They were 10,000 times more wise because back then, they researched the unseen. And now in this era, we're technocrats. We only research the seen. We only believe in what can be seen and touched. Exactly. And so Nikola Tesla said, when mankind begins to research the unseen, he will gain more knowledge and wisdom than he has in the last whatever amount of years. And so what really is the truth is the unseen world has a lot of things going on. We only see 1% of the light spectrum, even for example, as a human being. But there's gamma rays, there are ultraviolet rays, there are X-rays, infrared. There's so many other things going on that we can't even see with our eyeballs, right around us. We'd probably freak out if we could see everything. But the research of the unseen realm and how it ties into the subatomic and the quantum physical realm is really where you learn how quantum physics and quantum mechanics supports spirituality and supports a lot of these theories from the ancient past.
Do you think that science is going to start to cross over and ask questions inside of our community?
I really do believe it. And the reason why is because the young kids that have been following my account, your radio station, and all these other conscious community people, since for example, there's one gentleman that I met in person now who used to follow me from junior high school. He's now a grown man. So, as he moves into whatever his career is going to be, let's say he becomes a scientist. All of a sudden, those teachings that he got from me aren't going to go anywhere. If he's a scientist that takes on a prominent position eventually, he may be the one that says, hey, we need to get some information from this side of the tracks now, and we need to incorporate that here and do some real studies on this and some experiments on this and see if we can duplicate these effects, blah, blah, blah. So I think that's what's going to happen. The younger generations, as they come up learning this alternative information that we put out, eventually will be put in positions of power that allow them to cross over and grab this and interact and involve it or interlace it with what they're doing.
Now, where does consciousness come from? A baby is born, and you can look into that baby's got its own thing going on from the word go. You can see it, right? You can almost see their future. He's going to be nuts. She's going to be cool. You can kind of see it from the word go. Yeah. But where does that come from?
Well, when they looked at the under a atomic microscope, they looked at when sperm actually enters or breaks through the outside of that egg and gets into the egg, and it creates this union. There's an actual spark that goes off. I really believe that at the moment of that spark is the actual moment when consciousness is now attached to that new life form from a multidimensional reality. I think that at some point when that spark occurs, there's some entity or frequency on the other end of a different dimension that is some way symbiotically tied into that new joining, and then inhabits that new third dimensional entity and grows up inside of it. And I really do believe that a lot of us are actually here on a mission. And I think consciousness is coming from a higher dimension where we all exist as frequencies of light. And I believe that there's lessons to be learned in this third dimension. And consciousness is just like the human brain. If I look at the as above, so below from the Hermetic principles that we taught that one time, if I see that a human being has a brain, I'm going to assume that the universe has a brain. And so in the human brain, what it does, it doesn't know anything. It literally doesn't know anything. But what the brain does, it says, I got friends. I'm going to send my friends out to collect data. So it says to its five senses, touching, hearing, smelling, taste, eyesight, go out there and collect me some information. And then these friends go out and collect the data, but the friends themselves have no clue what they're collecting. In this case, in the analogy, the friends would be, for example, human beings, right? We're all encapsulating a particular frequency of the one consciousness, and we're out here collecting data our entire lives and transmitting it back. Well, the friends, called the sensory perceptions, transmit the information back to the brain. The brain takes that information, sort it all out, and then converts that data into a hologram that it projects. And then we navigate through that projected hologram based off of the data that was collected by the brain. And so the universe, in my opinion, is on the same mission, a data collection mission through every electron that orbits every atom in the entire universe. And there are, I don't even know, Googles and Googles of them. Everything is conscious because we know now that electrons are conscious based off the double slit experiment. And so since everything is conscious, everything is transmitting information back to the one source. And that source is collecting all of this information. To what end, for what purpose, I truly don't know. I don't think anybody does.
Does it start with the baby's first breath?
I think it starts at conception.
It starts at conception.
I think that spark that we see under the microscope and at conception is the exact moment that spirit enters into that joining, into that new being.
Okay, so we have all this knowledge, all of this information that has been collected, but eventually our meat sacks stop working. Where does this information go? Where does consciousness go?
Well, consciousness is a stream of information. So scientists found out that the human avatar body, us as people, we receive information up to 7 seconds before we respond or act on it.
That's right.
Okay, so we're living in a delay, and so we're not living in real time. There is a significant delay, because in track and field that would be like a mile. You know what I mean?
Well, but that's an important statement, because we think we're making that decision. Our brain has already made. We think, right? When we talk about free will, I don't want to put a damper on this for anybody, but you think you're making a decision, and it's based on emotion. It's based on whatever, likes, dislikes. Your brain 7 seconds prior is telling you what your decision is going to be.
Right, exactly. It's already happened. And so how we affect that delay that occurs is by obtaining a higher level of consciousness, being able to see and perceive things and discern from a higher level. It puts you closer to the to the top of that 7 seconds. In other words, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Giving you a good example, Michael Jordan, any great athlete, for example, when they say, I let the game come to me, what that really means is they're operating when he's playing, when he's in his meditation of playing that game on the court, the game slows down. Literally, not just mentally because he's just making a quote. No, it's a real thing that happens. He's closer to real time, and he's seeing things happen before they happen, and he's able to make the adjustments. He's able to foresee what's going to be and how to overcome that or how to avoid that. And so it's amazing. It's like a great kung fu artist knowing their opponent's next move. So when your mind is in that flow state, you're closer. Instead of being 7 seconds away, you could be 1 or 2 seconds away, allowing you to make a slight adjustment ahead of everyone else.
Is that the difference between somebody that is awakened and somebody that is just driving to work every day to pay the bills and not considering any of this?
Absolutely. There's a person that is considered awakened starts to see and starts to think and see things differently, and can actually look down. Not that they're looking down on people, but can look down on other conscious thoughts and realize that there's levels to the game. And you begin to realize that if somebody now in the past, I would get frustrated at somebody for the way that they would treat or do someone else or myself. But now I realize a lot of these people that even look like they're running on programming, just go to work, come home, go to sleep. This may be their first time here. So someone can be 30, 40, 60, 70 years old and be a brand new baby in this reality. And there could be somebody that's 5, 10, 15, 20 that could be ancient, super ancient. So now I begin to see them as just children and understand, don't get frustrated because there's children here.
This 7 second thing, I want the audience to hear what I'm about to say, and then I want your reaction. I was watching, there's a new TV series, Painting with John Lurie, great jazz musician and painter. It's on HBO. It's great. I recommend it to everybody. You've got to go watch it. But he said this one little nugget in one show. I think it blew past most people. But he said this, Billy. He said, I don't trust anybody that doesn't laugh.
Oh, wow.
And okay, so now let's examine that statement for a second, because I sat back and thought to myself, who do I know that has never laughed? And a couple of people came to mind. Can't say who, but let me just say this. They have never laughed.
Wow.
And I always had issues with these few people. There's probably more, but a couple came to mind right away. That 7 second rule that you're talking about. You want to get ahead of that 7 second curve? Think about somebody that hasn't laughed in your life, and then interact with them now. You are ahead of that 7 second curve.
Yeah.
Should we trust somebody should we trust somebody that's never laughed?
I mean, I believe now, this may be a conspiracy, but I really do believe that there are some programs here. In other words, people that are biologically real, but that they're purely programs. Like in the Matrix, there's some programs that are running around designed to direct and guide and make people follow things in a certain way.
Without that don't have emotion.
Don't have any emotion.
Right.
If I'm standing in an elevator and I turn to my right and I'm facing the wall of the elevator, and another person comes in and they turn to the right, and then everybody's eventually going to face to the right. They don't even know why they're doing it. The programming code kicks in, and I think there's these shepherds, in a way, so to speak, these program codes that just keep people going down these mundane paths of life and grinding the mill, so that the top 1%ers that know everything that's going on can continue to do their thing.
Now, this conversation has been, pretty serious, at times fun, but every time that you call me or I call you, something happens in the first 10 seconds of the conversation, and that is called laughter.
Yeah.
We start off our conversations on that side, don't we?
All the time. All the time.
Every conversation. And I've just become so cognizant of that. And the whole free will conversation that we're having right now, your brain is way ahead of you. You don't realize it. How do you get ahead of that? And which is what we're talking about right now. And I think that when you are interacting with people out there, always be aware of your speech, of your thought, and how you are interacting with people, because there's a 7-second delay that is going on. And if you are aware of that, then you can start to look at people a little bit different. Also, television, programming, your life, driving the car, shopping, everything that you do, think about it in those terms, and you are ahead of the game, aren't you?
Absolutely. I liken it to a wave in the ocean. So some people are at the bottom of the wave, and it has to crash over them for them to realize the moment that they're in. Some people are surfing on top of the wave, closer to real time. And so you're surfing the wave, you're not letting it crash. So some people literally wait for crash after crash, and every time the wave crashes, I'm in this mode. Oh, this just happened. Oh, this. So it's almost like a reactive state, instead of an active state. So that's what I liken it to.
Now, how do we, going back to somebody that's never laughed, right, and this trust thing, how do we? It shouldn't be our goal to change people. It's never going to work. People are raised the way that they are. You're never going to change. You think you can, you can't. But how do we choose who is around us?
Well, that's a big thing, and it's a challenge for a lot of people, because a lot of people like to hold on to friendships and relationships and family members. For whatever reason, for me, it wasn't too hard for me to disconnect from people, because I never really was one of those people that had a role with a clique. I didn't have to be a part of this or a part of that. When I just separate and I analyze and create my circle based off of who I can learn from and how I can advance and grow. And so a lot of people when they analyze that part of it, they'll have to cut off a lot of people right away. I grew up in the ghetto, but I'm not going to go out back there and hang out with, Joe Schmo underneath a tree and kick it all day and talk about the old times. It's just not going to happen. I'll ride through there with my kids and show them where I came from, but I'm not going to be going down there to hang out and I don't want to be in a situation where I'm putting myself energetically in that environment, and that's what I'm going to now draw back into my life. So you have to set boundaries with things. You can put your toe in the water, but don't dive in. And so I like to surround myself with people that I feel are going to help me take me to the next level, people I can learn from, people that I get insight from. And I like to surround myself with people that are financially doing well, that are financially healthy. Because, that statement about being around the 5 people you're going to be around the most, your income is going to be the average of those 5. I really believe it. And so I don't surround myself with anybody that's in my inner circle, that's suffering too much financially, because I don't want to take on that virus.
And is 2021 an opportunity? Man. I mean, coming off of 2020, there are so many out there that have this mindset that 2021 is going to be the same situation. And are they setting themselves up for failure?
They're setting themselves up right away. I talked about this in my Manifest Destiny workshop a couple of weeks ago. The fact that people are making memes that 2021 is just another episode of 2020 and blah, 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 blah. And they're downing and they're doubting and they're putting out negative information. They don't realize the power of their words and their conscious thought. What they're doing is they don't know that the law of attraction works 24/7, and it works in high frequency and low frequency. So the more low frequency information that they throw out about how bad it's going to be for them this year, it's going to come back and be bad for them. And meanwhile,
law of attraction does not discriminate.
It does not discriminate. It's going to become low or high frequency. Whatever you're putting out is what you're going to get. It's a boomerang. It's a mirror. And so because of that, you got to watch what you say. The song really is a double-edged sword, just like the scriptures say. And so I focus on positivity. 2020 was one of the best years I've had financially. And 2021, I've got a check in my wallet right now that I wrote for $1 billion to myself. And it's got to be cashed by October 2026. And so, every few years I write myself a new check. Well, I wrote myself a check this year for $1 billion, and I really believe I'm going to end up cashing that check. 2021 is a launching pad for me and for a lot of people. And I really do believe that if you put yourself in the right mindset and get a hold of this new wave and the new way that business is moving and get behind that, find your passion in this new frequency that's out here in the business world and find a need for that passion and either partner up with somebody or kickstart your own thing. But if you find a need and fill it, that's the secret to making money.
That's why I hang out with Billy Carson. And I know where I'm going to be in 2026. I'm going to be hanging with Billy.
That's right.
Billy, thank you so much, my friend. I'm so looking forward to the Conscious Life Expo coming up next weekend. It's 10 days away, 11 days away. One of the producers of the event said to me today, we're going through the schedule, we're doing lighting and audio and all of the stuff. And they said, so you're going to be introducing Billy, right? I said, hey, you better check with Billy if you got other plans. I'm so looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a great event. Billy, be safe, be well. Yep, we'll talk over the next couple of days. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Billy Carson. Now, everybody, it's all very, very simple. 3 links to go to, okay? It is forbiddenknowledge.com, forbiddenknowledge.tv, and everything, consciouslifeexpo.com. All the information you need is right there. And, of course, we've also got the link up to Billy's new book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke. All right? I am your host, Jimmy Church. Say goodnight, Billy.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Billy Carson. I'll be right back opening up the phone lines for all of you after this short break. Stay with us.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, my name is Billy Carson, and I am a best-selling author and the founder of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Together with my team, we have built an all-new conscious streaming TV platform designed with every family member in mind. If you have ever wanted to travel the world and attend lectures and workshops from your favorite speakers but weren't able to, look no further. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. There are dozens of workshops and lectures from speakers you know and love. We have also included amazing categories to assure that your consciousness is entertained and elevating on a daily basis. Amazing interviews, ancient history, ascension knowledge, wisdom teachings, documentaries, conspiracies, mysteries, health and fitness, conscious cooking, meditations, finance, yoga, and so much more. To start your free trial on any mobile device or computer, surf to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's Forbidden Knowledge with the number 4, ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Again, visit ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app. Free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thank you to Billy Carson. Opening up the phone lines right now, 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. And Billy will be a featured speaker, keynote speaker over at the Conscious Life Expo virtual conference. And the links for that are over at jimmychurchradio.com. And you can also go straight to consciouslifeexpo.com too as well. But we've got everything up. And when you go over, after you click on the links at jimmychurchradio.com, I want you to do a few things because there's so many different aspects that are tied in to the conference. And the first thing and the easiest thing to do is the 2021 at the top. It says 2021 schedule is to click there and you can see how everything is set up. And that is from the opening ceremonies with Tracy Ash. That's live from Giza over in Egypt. And that's on Friday. And then once you go down below that, you'll see there's two channels, Channel 1 and Channel 2. Channel 1 is Ancient Mysteries, Ancient History, UFOs, Disclosure, basically centered around that. That's Channel 1, and I am hosting that. And then over on Channel 2, Consciousness, Healing, Spirituality, and Guidance is Channel 2. And you can scroll down and go through all 3 days of the conference. Very important for everybody to know how to navigate this. When you go to the 2021 schedule page, you'll see everything is color-coded, gray, green, blue, and purple. And so the gray areas are the hosted content, myself, and also Dr. Sarah Larson, who is the Master of Ceremonies and hosting Channel 2. That's the gray content area. The green areas are all of the totally free content that was there for everybody that just wants to go and hang out over those 3 days. And then the blue areas are all the keynote speakers, and the purple areas are the theme segments. Because when you go to the tickets, you will see that all of that keynote speakers, you can get a full-on pass for the weekend with all the content, or you can get into theme segments. But this is set up to be very easy to navigate, and that's how you get through everything. And so you can kind of start there at the 2021 scheduled events. But there's also the exhibitors. There's an entire overview of the expo at a glance. You can also advertise there. And then there is the virtual exhibit hall. And I want you to definitely check that out next. After you go to the 2021 schedule, the reason why, for me, the virtual exhibit hall is so cool and so important is that the Conscious Life Expo is you have the speakers, you have all of that, and all of the presentations. The other half of the Conscious Life Expo every year is the exhibit hall with all of the vendors, and it is tremendous, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And it is the place where you can go and hang out and mingle and do all of that. Well, we had to be able to capture that vibe of the Conscious Life Expo and how to do that virtually. Well, that is what is set up here. And so you will be able to, you have to download an app to set up your avatar. But once you go and do that, you can go into the exhibit hall with your avatar. And once you click here, the virtual exhibit hall, you can scroll down and see exactly what is going on. And there's also a really cool movie that you can download too as well, a video, and see it. But this is really, really cool. And you'll be able to go up to anybody and interact just like you would in a normal Conscious Life Expo any other year. It is very, very cool. So go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the banners right there, and it'll take you straight over. And you can go and navigate everything on the Conscious Life website. And there you go. Okay, I was going through today. 747-228-2051. I believe I've opened up the phone lines. 747-228-2051. Rita, I would appreciate not texting this stuff. It throws me off during the show. Okay? Thank you so much. 747-228-2051. And let me check. I'm going to dial my own number. This is strange. Okay. 0-1. And I just got to make sure that okay. All right. The phone lines are not open. Okay. Let me get this fixed. I will do this now. That's my fault. I apologize to everybody. I don't know what everybody was listening to right now. Okay. All right. Phone lines are now open. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Now, the oh man. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I got it. Okay, they're open. 747-228-2051. And yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good to go. I'm going to put you on hold. You just stay right there. I'll get to you in just a second. And I'm going to do this here too as well. Now everything is lighting up like a Christmas tree. Okay. Is this a glitch in the Matrix? Billy and I started to talk about this a little bit tonight, simulation theory. This movie powerfully suggests quite a few different theories when it comes to simulation theory. And Billy and I started to talk about this tonight, nothing to do with the movie, but it was fascinating to me that we started to get into that part of the conversation when Rita and I watched this documentary last night, which says to me that these ideas and these theories, they've been out there for a while, but different aspects about this we have been talking about in and outside of the community. And so I want everybody to go and watch this, because I think by the time Fader Night rolls around on Thursday, I think I'm going to be ready for a conversation about this. The reason why I have been saying I don't want to just get into this now, and my opinions and my ideas, because I've come to a couple of conclusions about the documentary. I don't want to say that now. I don't want to have everybody else think something else before they watch it. So go check it out. Now, back to avatars. The avatars that we're talking about for the Conscious Life Expo, right? Okay. The movie brings in 4 experts about simulation theory, but you don't see their faces. You only hear their voices. You're watching avatars. It's a very interesting approach to this movie and the idea of simulation theory, coding, a computer program that is running from somewhere, not necessarily from here. But that aspect to the documentary I thought was an interesting one. So that's why we're talking about avatars and creating your own avatar. That's what goes down in this movie, a glitch in the Matrix. So go and check it out. Let's get to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, my name is Dee Dee Shelby, but I go by Little Sister on social media.
Right on.
And I was calling because you got Billy Carson on your fucking show.
Hey, watch your language.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so excited. I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean to cuss out like that. But to have Jimmy and Billy at the same time, it's a woman's dream. No?
Yes, you called me, but I'll say this. It's always a great show and always a great conversation with Billy. Always.
It always is, and I was reading some of the comments, and some of the people were like, who is this guy? And I'm like, who don't know who Billy Carson is? Obviously, some people don't, but I just wanted to call in and say, Billy, thank you so much for all of your contributions, all of your hard work. It doesn't go unnoticed. I have an 8-year-old daughter. I've been putting her on to you ever since she came out the womb. She's totally tuned in. And I just thank you for being such an awesome teacher. And I have to say to you, Jimmy, as well, thank you for your platform, for all of the information, all of the guests. You guys are absolutely top notch. I mean, you guys are definitely at the top in my book, in my record. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, DD. And first time caller, and I always love that, but I really appreciate your comments. And it was I remember the first time I got to listen to Billy speak, and it was one of those moments for me where I was, this is somebody that needs to be heard. And I realized at that time, he had a big footprint in social media, and he was doing things and writing and speaking. But I understood, I connected and resonated immediately. And it's just been a great ride ever since.
It really, really has been. And, Billy, the number one thing that I really take from you is let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's do the research. Let's put in the work. and let's love on each other, and let's really grow as one. And I can't say thank you enough.
Well, thank you, Dee Dee, but that's exactly the point. Always have a positive attitude, but go, Billy and Fade to Black, we can only give you the tools. You've just got to go and research, dive into these subjects and check it out for yourself. And that's it. And have a good time doing it. Right. And
exactly. And this is coming from a not that it really matters, but a Black woman who grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up in Richmond, California, in the midst of the hood. I never, at one point, I didn't think that I would make it to the age of 12, to the age of 18. But all that time growing and learning, knowing that there was more than what was presented in front of me. And like you said, I got the tools at a young age. And as I got older and older, especially when I got into college, and I remember this guy gave me this book with the pyramids and Anunnaki. And I'm like, what is this? I smoked a couple of buds and I wouldn't give him the book back. I remember the guy, he used to chase me all over trying to get the book. I never gave the book back. And from there, it was just like skyrocketed off. I never stopped going. And like I said, I passed it on to my daughter and all of the little kids in my neighborhood, everybody I come in contact with. I try to put them on game. Everybody needs to wake up and let's get this thing going.
Thank you so much,
Dee Dee.
Dee.
Thank you. I love you guys. Have a good one.
Right back at you, Dee Dee. That's a great phone call right there. Thank you so much. Once you, and she's absolutely right. This call was dropped. I'm bringing it right back in. She's absolutely right, though. Once you get the right book and once you start jumping in, you can't stop. You can't stop. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, my name's Leon.
Hi, Leon. How are you?
Good. I was just calling in because I've been following Billy for like a year. But on my own, I've been kind of just dabbling into my own roots, ancestry, and a bunch of other metaphysical things that I found out were, I guess, a whole lot deeper. When I came to my awakening, I guess what brought me to Billy and then brought me to your channel, I was explaining to a friend that basically we didn't used to communicate through auditory, like using our voice. There was it's ancient, but we used to communicate practically. And I was explaining to my friend, and she was blown away, but she's kind of a new soul, so she didn't really understand too much until she ended up having a baby. And then I was able to communicate directly with her, like know all the things she needed and all those things. And so I just wanted to stop in and say you guys are doing a great job and to help bring up the vibrations in the radio host and everything. So
thank you, Leon. I mean, that's again, just like the previous caller, Dee Dee, was saying. Yes. Once you just crack the door, right? That's all you got to do. You just got to just crack the door. That's it. Crack the door, and then do your own research. And there's so much there's so many fascinating angles to this because there's the consciousness side, there's the spirituality side, there's the self side.
It all ties in together,
right?
I feel like everyone has a piece of the whole picture. It feels like everyone has a piece.
That's right, because you can go to Egypt. You can go beyond that, exactly. The Anunnaki and Mesopotamia. Mm-hmm. You can get into lost history. Then you've got everything that is here in North and South America, not only with the indigenous cultures here in the United States, but throughout Central America and the Mayan culture and everything that was going on all around
and
Mexico.
What all those things were for and how they actually contribute to things we can actively do now, today. It's just everything's so deeply tied in. And I don't know, I think you guys are doing great. I don't want to hold up the line too much. I wanted to call in and just kind of encourage people to, like, all the information possibly find that pertains, that I guess that feels natural to you. And that's the best way you could start. And things will just start falling in line.
Yeah, you're right, Leon. Thank you for the phone call, man. Don't be a stranger.
Not a problem. Thank you.
That's a great phone call right there. See, this is the thing that for me really started to fascinate me with all of the cultures and civilizations around the world. And that is because there's something that's going to pull you in. There's something that, and I don't know what that is, but something's going to pull you in. For me, it was always ancient history, because when you look at the pyramids, right? And wait a minute here, right? That's enough to open the door. Once you get into the lost history and archaeology and cultures and civilizations around the world, you are going to just bounce around, and the next thing you know, you're at Machu Picchu. You're at the Temple of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico City. You find yourself over at Easter Island, and then you're moving across. Next thing you know, you're checking things out in Australia or Japan, and China, and the next thing you know, you're in Russia, and you're up in to Siberia, moving, and the obvious things, Stonehenge, and these obvious things are there. But then you start to find out that all of this stuff is connected, and it's connected to consciousness and spirituality, and the stars and the heavens. It's fun. It's fun, and the more that you do. And it only takes one little thing. You crack the door open, and the next thing you know, you start to realize that all of this stuff is connected. And that I didn't even get into ancient Greece and Rome. It's fascinating to me. And the gods and the astrology and the astronomy that plays into all of this. I can't say it enough. When we look at, you look at the Dogon, and you look at Egypt, and you look at Mesopotamia and ancient Sumer, everything that was going on with the Mayans and their astronomy and their calendars. How is it possible without a telescope to know these things that span tens of thousands of years? How is it possible? Because I can go out in my backyard tonight and look up, and without the help of software, I don't know what's going on. Somehow they did. Mind-blowing. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb. Hey, turn on your bunker cam.
What's that?
Turn on your bunker cam, honey. We can't see you.
It is on.
Oh, is it? Okay, because it wasn't when I dialed in. You're still out. The lights were out. Hey, quick question for you, too, actually. So yesterday when you did your tweet about the Reddit ad, you said it was an ad for Scientology.
No, I didn't.
And
no, that was two different tweets.
Oh, was it? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
So owls are, because I was confused. So owls are not connected to Scientology then?
I doubt it.
I don't know. But I mean, I follow Kirstie Alley, and once in a while she answers my, she'll tweet and I'll respond to it. And I mean, for someone who's into Scientology, what a great human being. I just love her. Very human, wonderful person, great personality. She posts a lot of real personal things. I guess she's got kind of a radio show going now too, and she's a real animal lover. So I could care less, if she's into that or not. She doesn't try to convert people or push her opinions or anything like that. But speaking of owls, when I think of owls, I always loved owls until I saw the movie Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind. You know which one I'm talking about, right? Have you seen it?
Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind?
Yeah, it was based on supposedly real-life alien abductions in Alaska.
Oh, that? Yeah. Is that what that was called?
Me. Yeah, tell me. You remember it?
The found footage and the E.T.,
yeah,
the gray aliens getting into that house.
And supposedly the cam from the police car showing the spaceship over the house and taking them out. I mean, it probably wasn't real footage. I don't know. It's Hollywood. But it scared the crap out of me, that movie. And it kept showing the owls. And when I Googled that owl, they were barn owls with those big black circles around their eyes. And they looked like alien eyes. And they kept seeing owls. Do you remember that?
I do. Yes. I do.
I mean, that was way scarier than Communion. You should go back and watch that.
Well, no, I've seen that movie probably 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
What's more interesting? The movie's cool, but it's the number of abductions in and around that town. That's the part.
That was Nome.
Yeah, Nome, Alaska, and that's the part when you get into the research. Now, I was never able to get a firm grasp on were the reports of the abductions real, or was that part of the marketing campaign for the movie? That's I tried to get into that, and I hit a lot of dead ends.
Kind of like the Blair Witch conundrum.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But the movie itself is pretty cool. It's Dave McClellan, which has or Mike McClellan, who wrote the book about the owls.
I don't know.
Mike Cleland. But and the reports throughout history when it comes to owls and ET contact sightings, abductions, and the frequency of owls and its symbology that is played out throughout history. And then to have that in the Reddit ad with all of these other ET, alien invasion, flying saucers that were in all of the ads yesterday during the Super Bowl. I found that very, very interesting. And Reddit's got it right there, the superb owl. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm glad you tweeted that. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I'm not into that. So the only piece of it I saw was other people tweeting about parts of it, and I saw your tweet, and then people were showing pictures from, again, what you described in the red uniforms, which they were calling them jock straps over their faces. Which I thought was funny. Or you called them bandages, but whatever. They were saying this is so in-your-face Illuminati and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't want to put in that negative stuff in my brain, so I didn't watch, the halftime thing.
Yeah, I don't know about all of that, but I certainly didn't get that vibe. Other people are. The ET content in those commercials was overwhelming, and I just noticed.
Well, I may have to go back and Google that and watch that then, because I'd like to see some of that.
Yeah, I'm sure that all of the commercials are in somebody's YouTube video somewhere. It's got to be out there.
Real quick, when you have Dave Schrader on Wednesday, will you ask him about his ayahuasca experience? I can send you a reminder if you're open to doing it. I'll remind you that day.
Okay. Well, I'll try. Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot of things that we're going to be talking about, but
I know
if it's something that Dave and I'm now 20 seconds past, so I got to run. But if it's something that Dave is going to do a 30-minute story on, then like he likes to do. We won't have the time for that. But, Deb, enjoy your night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Let's sacrifice Spader night for Dave Schrader. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll talk to you. I got to run. I've got to get out of here. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What a great show tonight. Thank you to Billy Carson. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camurian. Show is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is by KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2021 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, Scott Walter. Until then, everybody be safe. It's time to fade to black.